Kyrie, man, is back.
Oh, my gosh, Durant got messed up. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have the leopard.
This is your boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash True Inferno. Back at it with another Pokemon Unite commentary video for you guys, and you know that I had to talk about this. I know I'm like over a week late, but I had to talk about this one. So what's going on? Well, I think it was either the same day or the day before I did the Kyrie video, which was 2 weeks ago. So it was after, the day after or two, after Kyrie announced that he was going to opt in for his last year with the Brooklyn Nets. Kevin Durant decides to announce that he wanted to be traded. So, and I was shocked. I'll be honest, I was extremely shocked. I did not expect that to happen at all. So that just came out of nowhere. So I don't know what led to this. I mean, there's reasons, but I don't recall Kevin Durant or anybody giving an exact reason why he wants to be traded. So for me personally, this came out of nowhere. So I find it to be very interesting indeed. Now, the more interesting part about all this is, even though there's a lot of people that want Kevin Durant, but nobody is like becoming serious about it. So what do I mean about that? Well, here's what's going on. The Brooklyn Nets are asking for a lot to get Kevin Durant. They're asking for a lot of young players and a lot of draft picks, preferably first-round draft picks. That's what the Brooklyn Nets are asking for, just for teams to get Kevin Durant. And it's like, nobody's buying it. Like, you know, and Kevin Durant, by the way, he said that he wants to go to the Phoenix Suns or the Miami Heat. Those are his top two choices. But there's other teams that are in the mix to a degree, like the Toronto Raptors, in terms of like teams that can possibly get them. Toronto Raptors, even reuniting KD with the Golden State Warriors, who just won the championship, by the way. So that's a possibility as well. Maybe even Utah with Donovan Mitchell might be on the trading block. Now, Mitchell never said he wanted to be traded, but Utah did say they are listening to offers, So they could do a player swap, maybe, possibly. Who knows? I don't know. And then the situation now is, yo, what would happen with Kyrie? So that's another interesting question as well. So Brooklyn try to trade him as well, because obviously there's talked about Kyrie for Russ. So there's that as well. So a lot of interesting things are going on right now. But the interesting thing is this. It's quite possible that neither player get traded. What I mean by neither player, I mean KD and Kyrie. Why did I say that? Well, first of all, the Brooklyn Nets, if memory serves correctly, they did announce that their main priority in terms of those two are KD. Is KD rather. Like, they want to focus on getting KD out of there and getting a good offer for KD. So that's their top priority. And if they can't get that, it's possible that both of these superstars could stay in Brooklyn and play in Brooklyn for at least one full season. Now, of course, obviously, even when the season gets started, they still could trade them, because the trade deadline isn't until February something, around the All-Star weekend, which is next year. So there's that. A lot to take in. So now the question is, would you give up a lot of your young talent and your draft picks for Kevin Durant? And for me personally, well, I understand that Kevin Durant, in my opinion, is the second best player in the world. Some might have him first. Others might have him in the top 3, which that part is accurate. Others might have him in the top 5, or whatever the case may be, or in the top 10. But to me, Kevin Durant is the second best player in the world. Despite that, I would not give up my young talent nor a bunch of draft picks to get him. Now, why do I say this? Because Kevin Durant is at the moment 34 years old. He is currently near the middle of his 4 years contract, which means that contract won't expire until he turns 37. And at that point, he might retire. So what you're saying is this. If a team is going to give up their draft picks and their young players to get this guy, they need to win at least one championship within the next 3 years. And at the same time, build for a future. Because if they don't do either one of those things, then getting KD will be considered a failure. So, well, I mean, if they win a championship then and they don't build for the future, I wouldn't necessarily call it a failure. I would say it's a short-term goal, but not a long-term investment. They would not prep for that. But either way, I wouldn't call it a failure. But if they don't win a championship, and even if like let's say they're not even close, like they're not title contenders, they're not even an elite team with KD to the point where even if KD leaves, they can contend. If that's not the case, then this is a failure of a trade. So and here's the thing you gotta take into consideration with KD, despite the fact that he's 34. So he's not 20 anything, he's at the middle of the 30s. And for the later portion of his career, ever since his last year in Golden State, KD been injury prone. Kevin Durant has been injury prone over the course of the last few years. Like, people don't like to talk about the word injury prone unless it comes to Zion Wilson or Anthony Davis. They're not the only two with injury issues. You know, there are other superstars that have injury issues. I'm not going to name them all, but one of those superstars is Kevin Durant, without question. So, that you got to take that into consideration as well. So, the fact that he's injury prone, in combination with the fact that this dude is 34, and his contract ends until 37, which means there's a good chance that he's going to get injured again. So you got to keep all of that in mind as well. So if you like, I'm looking at FoxSports.com, Kevin Durant injuries, right? So let's look at this. Going back to 2017, what team was he on in 2017? But well, I mean, some of these are like small things, you know, like a thigh contusion, sore ankle. Okay, so be it, whatever. Sprain left ankle, sprain right ankle within the same week. Now that's funny. Strained calf, okay, whatever. Left hand contusion, whatever. Rib fracture, okay, that's kind of serious. Ankle, right ankle contusion, calf, Achilles, and then I'm assuming he had COVID because of health and safety protocols right there. Achilles injury recovery, injured recovery rest, and then of course health and safety protocols, hamstring rest, thigh, injury management, shoulder. Okay, these are the time he missed games. So now, and something has been happening every single year since apparently off of this website, FoxSports.com, since 2017. Now, again, some of those are like bland, but like, yo, let's be real, he has been injury prone. So again, his last time in Golden State when they was in the finals against Toronto, he got injured and they lost. And then the next year, what happened? He didn't even play the entire year. He did not play that entire year, his first year in Brooklyn. So then, when he came back and started playing again, and let me get the stats. So he was with the Royals. Yeah, that was 2017. So yeah, he got injured a little bit. 2018 is where things got popping. So 2018 was when he got injured. Let me find that other website, that Fox Sports website. So 2018 was when he really got injured in the NBA Finals. So if we go to 2018, that was, so I think that, yeah, that was the ankle. That was the ankle. So there's that, or the right ankle contusion right there, actually. And then he didn't come back until 2020. And then he got injured in 2020. I don't remember what the injury was, but he did get injured 2020. If memory serves it correctly. It was a small injury, but it was an injury nevertheless. And then in 2021, this past season, he got injured as well. Because remember, the Brooklyn Nets was second and was in the mix again, the number one seed. KD got injured and they dropped all the way to the point where they had to get in for the play-in tournament. So this dude's been injury prone over the course of the past few years, since 2018, to be honest. So why would anybody want to give up their young talent and draft picks for a guy who is in his mid-30s, when his contract expired, will be in his late 30s, and has been injury prone over the last, what is that, 4 years? Like, no, that makes no sense. I wouldn't do it, and I don't think teams should do it either. To me, that makes no sense. Now, do I think he should be traded? Well, okay. The Brooklyn experience has been a total failure. They have not gotten to the conference finals. They have not gotten, obviously have not gotten to the NBA's finals, and therefore have not had won a championship when they've been projected to win a championship ever since KD first stepped foot there. So it's been a total failure, like a total failure. But It's a tough one, man. Like Kyrie, if Kyrie would get his act together, if Ben Simmons would get his act together and actually ball, they'll be in the mix because now they got defense in Ben Simmons. I think they still got Andre Drummond. No, who got Andre Drummond? I don't remember who got Andre Drummond, but Brooklyn might got Andre Drummond. But they got some rebounding a little bit, and so they got some defense there. They could emerge from the East and go to the finals. Now, could they win it all? I don't know, because that West is looking vulnerable, as is the East too. But it would be very interesting if, you know, they run it back one year. Everybody's healthy. Everybody play. Nobody's taking time off for stupid reasons or whatever the case may be. It would be interesting to see what this team could do. But would I not mind seeing Kevin Durant traded? No, as long as not back to Golden State. Because then his legacy or his expectations, the expectations for KD's legacy would be down the toilet, pretty much. So I would not want to see him go back to Golden State. So there you go with that. And I'm going to call it a wrap. So with all that said, y'all know who this is. This is boy New J Gatsby, a.k.a. the new Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all. And I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.